Okay, we're trying this again. We had some technical difficulties, and I'm hoping it works this time. I'm trying to have my mom join. So let's see if we can get that to work. Again, testimonies and what it is to join as a QLA, answering some questions from yesterday. We're just trying to figure out how to get her to be able to connect. And it was like glitching when we tried before. So thank you for waiting. I always hate joining lives and having to wait in the beginning for stuff, but I'm sorry. We're figuring it out. It says unable to, okay. Is this working now?
We did it! You did it!
I wonder why that was so difficult.
I don't know. That was really weird.
Yes. Okay, well, this is my mom, if you guys don't know that. This is Debbie, and we're going to talk today about like Scan testimonies because you've been getting some really you always have the best testimonies. People tell you like the coolest stuff. So I kind of wanted to just start out by talking about what the latest has been. Like, what's your favorite testimony recently?
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for inviting me on here. I love the testimonies. If it weren't for the testimonies, I wouldn't be doing this. So, I think the reason I get so many testimonies is because I talk to people on the phone,
Yeah.
but then they're not in writing. So, I think some of the greatest ones I've had recently was a friend of mine. Have you guys heard of breast implant illness and having explants? My friend had that done about a week ago, and she messaged me yesterday morning and said both of her lungs, two lungs, were collapsed, and she was in the hospital up in.
Insane.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, you need all your things that you have at home, but what can we do when she's in the hospital? Um, so we were able to do the AO scan frequencies, and in this case, I sent them from my phone and she sent them from her phone. And I haven't talked to her in person, but I got a text at 3 o'clock yesterday that she was out of the hospital.
Amazing.
She was so concerned that they were going to need to do another procedure. So, granted, we prayed. She's been doing everything to prepare for this. She's been doing everything right. So, just super thankful for that. Is that cool or what? So, I can't wait to hear from her end. I'm just praying she gets completely out of pain and that everything is better.
Yes.
But just to have her able to breathe on her own without, she said she couldn't really breathe without severe pain without the mask.
Wow.
So
And
so
that's
grateful.
what's so amazing about the AO scan. That was something when I first got it. I remember being able to support people in the hospital when, COVID was still going on. Sorry, we've got a little
Wait, can you
fussy.
hear? Somebody typed in voice. What is?
Okay. Who are you not hearing? It's okay, baby.
Let me make sure my. Hi, Olivia Kate.
There's a Kate. It's okay, honey. But being able to support people in the hospital was so incredible.
Yes.
I'll let you keep talking about
So
some
I'll go ahead and
testimonies.
say another one is Okay, so a friend of mine, her son was in a child care on Saturday, and apparently his arm, like he wanted somebody to help pull him up, and when they pulled him up, um, it actually hurt him pretty bad. So she went to the emergency on Sunday, and they said it looked like a compound fracture or something like that. So they put a splint on it and referred her to the orthopedic. So I right away on Saturday night said, send him frequencies for broken bone, for Arnica, Montana, for, do everything you have, do your
Mm-hmm.
mat, do your wand, just, drink the best water, like do everything you know to do.
Mm-hmm.
So again, ER said, we think it's a compound fracture, and the orthopedic didn't get to look at it till yesterday. So I knew the appointment was coming up, but I was checking in with her the last few days, and he seemed to be, maybe a little bit crabby, but not complaining and in tears like he was
Wow.
Saturday. So I was so excited. I don't think she had left the parking lot from the orthopedic when we talked. And I heard her son in the back seat wanting to talk to me. So he was definitely in better spirits, and she was going to go get him some Play Doh. But I was so thankful because the orthopedic said, there's not a break, there's not a fracture. And he, or whoever the orthopedic is, put the elbow back in place, and
Wow.
she was like, why didn't they do that Sunday in ER? And he said, well, they thought it was broken. So either it's coincidence, and even if the AO scan were just helping with pain, as well as the AO Infinity Wand and the mat and everything, but that's incredible. That's not the first testimony I've had with fractures or
I was gonna
broken
say
bones.
that's it, it would make sense it would be what happened because of how many testimonies we've had with fractures and
Yeah.
bones healing. And it just always brings me back to the testimony of Hulk, the dog,
Yes.
how his retina reattached in a couple of days. If you guys haven't seen that testimony on Solex's YouTube, um, it's it's incredible. I think I have it saved in my pet's highlight bubble, but um, the body wants to heal. The body wants to
Yeah.
restore. And we're made of frequency. We talk about this all the time. We talked about this on the live yesterday. But just being able to put those resonant frequencies of what the bones, what the tissues, what the organs are supposed to be vibrating at can do so much. So,
Yeah, and we're not making any claims, but it doesn't hurt. That's the
yeah,
other thing is I love, as a mom and now as a grandma, do no harm, right? Isn't
yeah.
that what we want? Is do no harm, but why if we can help kids be more comfortable, before we used to just take a little pink syrup and give it to the kids when you guys were little. Um, Now it's like, oh, there's no problem with the liver detoxing frequencies, right? If you just want to help them with pain, why not? Just try the inner
Hmm.
voice. I know she did that for him too. So,
Yeah. And I've had testimonies of people telling me they feel like their body's realigning when they listen to inner voice. And the amazing thing with the AO scan is it's for everyone. Like there's no contraindications at all. I used it the whole time I was pregnant. I've used it with people who are in the hospital doing not so good, and it's helped. And it's just the body's only going to take what it needs. Kind of like we talk about when we use Cephi. You can make a whole playlist of Cephi frequencies, and whether you know what things are for or not, whether you know what it means, your body's only going to pick up on, your brain's going to look at it like a menu. I love how Deb Bruce it describes it that way, that the brain's going to go, okay, what do I need? What do I want? And take it and use it. Um,
I love that. I mean, we get testimonies all the time. Sometimes they're in writing, sometimes they're voice memos.
Mine are all voice
Um,
memos. I'm like, wait, can I record this?
I love it. But like one of them, I just want to share because I got it Friday, and you might have seen in my stories. It's kind of weird, but there was a voice memo or a phone message left that said, "Debbie, I don't want to leave the message on here, but I have a really good report." And I was so thankful to get this good report. Hi, Christy. On Friday because I called her back. She didn't want to leave the message because she's like, I gotta tell you in person. Sorry, I'm getting so many
Like,
texts. I don't know how to turn that
why?
off.
Oh, it's
Um,
fine. I can hardly hear it.
oh, good. So, this lady about 2 months ago, they told her she had a very fast growing C word in her esophagus and her liver. And so I'm like, okay, we gotta come for prayer. Like, come to church for prayer. I'll pray for you. Pastor will pray for you. Like, let's do all that. And, we talked about some other lifestyle things to make sure she was doing things and do the frequencies, like constantly send yourself frequencies for all these different things. Imprint your water, imprint your, jewelry, Cephi dots, or whatever she had. Do the AO Infinity Wand, which she was doing continued, like I think an hour a day, up and
Wow.
down her chest and her cross back and forth around her liver. So the reason she wanted to call me was because about 2 months ago, they were saying to her, you need to do this and this and this. You have to do this. It's very serious. And you're stage 4
Like
and whatever.
the traditional medical
The
stuff.
traditional medical. And she said they had 3 people come into the room to try to pressure her into it. And she was just like, I'm
Wow.
just going to wait. I just need a little bit of time. I just want to I mean, if I've had this for probably however knows how long, I just want to wait. And so I'm so thankful she did. She actually went to like 2 or 3 more churches for prayer. She's doing everything. And she said they told her last Thursday that, hey, you know what? You're feeling good. You haven't been really having any symptoms or anything. And they didn't think it's fast growing, maybe even getting a little better. Um, I, they didn't want to do the procedures, but
Wow.
any treatments. So that was huge.
That
And
is
I know it's a
huge.
combination, it's always a combination, but the AO scan was such a huge, and Solex and all of our products, such a huge game changer, even if it's just peace of mind. When you listen to inner voice, it can help you if you already do pray. It can just help you even just be more still
Mm-hmm.
and just really, really go deeper in your prayer life. And for me, it helps me even go closer to Jesus. Like I feel his presence even more when I'm listening to inner voice. That's just for me. Do you notice that with meditation or prayer or?
Definitely with prayer. I feel like
Mm,
since finding the AO scan, I've gotten closer to Jesus and just been able to still the mind instead of feeling, because I had so much. I know I share my testimony so much, but I've all that anxiety and PTSD and depression that was going on 3+ years ago, and then the AO scan and emotion code came in, and it was a 180, and it's just continued to be more and more healing, mentally and emotionally, spiritually, physically, ever since. I mean, who like I feel like sticking with something for 3 years is a testimony in itself.
yeah, that's true.
My QLA renewal just went through like a week or two ago, from for the third time, so
Third
that's
year.
pretty cool.
The
Third
third
year.
year.
One, two, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah,
So
third time you knew. Yeah.
pretty cool.
I love
um
it.
it just works so fast. Like, I don't know, every time, like, if I've had joint pain, if I've had nausea, if I've had, and I don't really get symptoms anymore that I can think of, but when I have had symptoms, especially when they first started with this, it can be instant relief. I mean, being able to just say, hey, can I run a scan I did that when I was at, I forget what it's called. It was some kind of like frequency wellness center, and the girl was not feeling well. It's like, can I just run a scan for you? And just to be able to do that and support people in the moment really fast, 5 minutes, and then they get their sound therapy that they can listen to as much as they want. It's so cool. So
I love that when you break that down, that you were paying to go to a session in a treatment center or whatever, and you were able to help the person for free.
yeah.
And that's crazy. Like when you start thinking about it, that instead of endless spending, running here, running there,
Hmm.
a lot of people are just saying, hey, I have what feels like a wellness center in my home. Um, that's what people are feeling like. They first do their go-tos, AO scan, the red light, I have testimonies just with that red light 660 band.
I know,
That,
it's amazing.
yeah. So we could go on and on about testimonies.
I just wanted to go briefly because I thought the most recent ones you had were just crazy, and
Yeah,
it's just we have to remind ourselves that the body can do miraculous things when it has what it needs. Um, Organs can move. Like I saw this with body code. Organs can move back into place. Bones can move back into place. Tissues can regenerate. Like pathogens can be released without taking a supplement. So much can happen energetically that manifests physically with energy and frequency. And we just haven't been exposed to that enough where it seems normal quite yet. But it's just like it's happening.
it's happening. It's happening. And you and I have seen it since 2008.
Hmm.
We have seen people say, you need to do this and this and this and this.
Hmm.
And we're like, hey, let's just try something non invasive
Hmm.
first. And, you and I were talking about this recently. Someone we all know was almost shot in the head. And we feel like we were almost shot in a way with all the illness and sickness and things. But we turned and God led us and miraculously protected us, like just protected us to turn this other way. And it's like, wait, I mean, I got to tell you, it seemed crazy in 2008 to put wet wraps and cords on my little Caitlin.
Hmm.
It felt crazy. So fast forward to now, none of you have to get any rashes from wearing wet wraps and cords. You get to push a button on your phone. So I feel like we
Yes.
really, we can't say we were smart enough, but we were. I mean, we learned a lot, but God protected us, led us,
Oh,
and now I feel a really important uh, desire to help people, like a yearning to help other people. And I want to know we're going to talk about being a quantum living advocate because before I would just refer people to people who did biofeedback or
mhm.
bioresonance. And I couldn't, I don't know, I might like turned off. I couldn't, I couldn't do it for free for people. I couldn't help them find a way to earn it for free. They
Yeah.
just had to pay a practitioner. If I referred them to you for your biofeedback, you couldn't just do everybody for
No.
free. You had your brick and mortar to pay for. So isn't it amazing that we can help people have the best biofeedback, bioresonance? And if they refer 3 people, it's free. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about what it's like to be a quantum living advocate?
Absolutely. Um, Little baby is waking up, so we might have to end this soon.
Okay.
But
Oh, my little.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, so I just want to say I've been in multiple MLMs, and there has never been a company that I felt so aligned with. I always wanted to feel really like a part of it, and like it felt like family, and it felt like something I was just gung ho for, and I never felt that. And then when we went to Day of Discovery last year, I already loved Solex and I loved the AO scan, but then getting to be around Kai and Shelby and Lauren and the staff and customer service and then all the QLAs and just everyone there was like, whoa, this is an outstanding amount of people who really care about changing the world. It didn't
Mhm.
feel like other events we'd been to and other groups where everything's just about money or just about, you know, building up your own business. It felt like this is life changing and the money just follows because that's how it works. That's how we're made. Our health and our physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and financial health are all connected. And yeah, it's just so well rounded getting to help people in every aspect.
I love it. And I'm so thankful that you're our team leader, Caitlin, because I know that we're being led by a heart of compassion and helping people who want to help themselves. So
Yeah.
I think that feeling we've felt before is kind of like a greed or whatever. And it just feels good to be aligning with, like you said, our company that look at Lauren. He helped his own son recover from cerebral palsy.
Yes.
It just aligns with us. Looking at Kai and Shelby and like our whole Solex team that's our staff there, I
Mm-hmm.
really am grateful.
Yeah.
And there's so many benefits to sharing this. So we should do another
I think we should
connection. So
do another one too. She's asleep still,
oh,
so we could keep
so
going.
cute. I wish I was over there.
I know. Oh, we can do a live together with you here too sometime. Um, I've been trying to go without the AC today, and I'm kind of regretting it.
We are too.
Oh man. Okay. Um, so when you join our team, this is so different than anything else I've joined before because it's my heart has been to help the people and support the people who really want to create something for themselves. So what I've done and what I've built is like replicate like stuff that you can replicate yourself and stuff that you can just do to be successful.
Oh, and you really have done that. So those of you who have already joined our team, there she is, my little baby. Already have gotten a super comprehensive way to help people get started and get going with the AO scan.
Yes.
I love that Solex already has basic training included. When you join as a QLA, do your basic training with Solex right away, which is amazing. But then a lot of people are giving me feedback saying, I really like hearing from you and Caitlin, from Caitlin. I love hearing from you guys. So they like what we're doing. So I just am going with the feedback, and I know you are too, Caitlin, that people want to hear from us sharing more. So here we are.
Yeah. And I'm teaching exactly how I've created my business to be. So I'm home with my baby 100% of the time. And where I'm not, I used to do the style of work where I was burnt out. I was constantly working. The minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed, I was working. And it was like being on a hamster wheel. I was just exhausted and stressed, and my hair was falling out. I was sick. It's not a way to live. And I had this vision. I saw other girls on Instagram showing how they were working smarter, not harder. And I thought, how can I do that? And I started praying for opportunities to show up. And that's when the emotion code and AO scan showed up. And that's when I really started just learning for myself how to do this, how to create this. And because I've been able to create that, I want to teach as many people as I possibly can how to do that too. So that's a big part of my drive too, is empowering people to create a life that they don't feel like they want to escape from, a life where they feel like they can be with their family. If
Yeah.
they have babies they want to be with all the time. So,
Yeah, it's so good. And like, if people are just driving to work and hating the drive to work and
mhm.
hating their job and hating their drive home and doing that all week long, you're created. If you're watching this, you're created for more. You have a bigger purpose. If you don't love what you're doing, maybe it's this company, maybe it's another company, but at least step back and look at your life and say, do I really love what I'm doing? Is this what I call it what we're created for?
Mhm.
To have the time freedom is super important. I mean, today
Right back.
I went to a memorial and a lot of people couldn't make it. Even the mother-in-law of my friend who passed away, she couldn't even come down. I mean, that's crazy to think about that. Um, so to know you guys have time freedom, which we've been entrepreneurs, my husband and I, since 1998. We haven't punched a clock, but this is different because there's less stress and you know you're really empowering someone. So even though Caitlin had a successful in business, in-person business, or my husband, or we had successful, it was not uh,
It wasn't true time
empowering
freedom.
people. Yeah, not true time fear, but not really empowering
Yeah.
other people to do the same thing. Because you can't duplicate it to, like, I can make a painting and we can make prints of it, but I can't, like, teach someone else to do the same thing. Whereas with AOScan, it's super duplicatable. We
Yes.
better sign off. I think she needs you.
I think so. Um, okay, so we can do this again with more on being a
Okay,
QLA, but really there's nothing required. You can sign up and we don't pressure you to do anything. There's no requirements. This month till the end of July, you can sign up as a QLA for free. So the $49 fee that usually covers the year so that you have your link that you can share with other people is free. So
totally
now's
free
the
the whole
month.
year.
Yeah.
And you get a duplicatable website. You right away get to be part of our WhatsApp if you want to be on that or in a group on Facebook for our QLAs.
And
Um,
my exclusive courses,
yeah,
which are very, very valuable, and I have poured my heart and soul into them to help you release abundance blocks, to help you know how to post on social media, to do everything that I'm doing.
yes, what we're doing. I love it. Thank you so much, Caitlin. I'm going to sign off, but
Thank you.
okay, we'll
Okay, be sure to save
see you
this.
next time. Okay,
Okay.
bye bye.
See you guys later.
Okay, bye.